Many couples choose to sleep in their own beds, even when they're in a long-term relationship. Whether you think separate beds are a sign of a failing relationship or a total luxury, studies have shown that it can be healthy. Here are some celebrity couples who slept in separate beds. Baz Luhrmann and his wife Catherine Martin are both well known in the film world and have worked together on many acclaimed films including The Great Gatsby and Moulin Rouge. After spending so much time working and living together, it's hardly a surprise to learn that this celeb couple sleep in separate beds. They opened up about their unique arrangement to the Daily Mail. Luhrmann explained, "We worked out a long time ago that we both need space. Otherwise, things would become fraught. For the sake of their marriage, the couple decided to take their own floors in both their New York and Sydney homes. However, on Saturday nights, Luhrmann and Martin always have a date, followed by a night in a hotel together." One of the most famous celeb couples of the 90s is David and Victoria Beckham, or as you may fondly know them, Posh and Becks. Since tying the knot in 1999, they've certainly gone through their ups and downs. Notably, in 2017, The Sun reported that the couple's divergent lifestyles were causing problems. Apparently, David liked to party, while Victoria preferred to live a quiet life. If those rumors were true, it seems that the couple managed to find a good solution. They sleep in separate beds. That same year, the Daily Mail explained that they'd invested in a new country home with distinct his and her wings. According to reports, each wing had its own kitchen, bedrooms, and courtyard. It seems that the separate quarters were in part a result of restrictive planning permissions. However, as a source said, it actually works out well for David, Victoria, and the kids. If they are all driving each other mad, they can retreat into these wings like they are living in separate houses. The Jonas brothers made headlines when they revealed that they all wore purity rings, signifying their wait-till-marriage commitment. The oldest brother, Kevin Jonas, married his wife Danielle Jonas in 2009. However, according to In Touch Weekly, the celeb couple started sleeping in separate beds pretty early on, though a source confirmed that Kevin did in fact wait until marriage to spend a night with his wife. And by the sound of things, their wedding night turned out to be quite a surprise, but not in the way you might think. The source explained, "She had no clue that he snores so loudly.
I'm so tired right now."
Apparently, she often moved to the guest room so that she could get some sleep. Nevertheless, the source was clear that Kevin and Danielle are still very happy together, and their separate room situation wasn't a sign of trouble in paradise. After dating in the 90s and working on Broadway together, Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker married in 1997. As of June 2021, despite many rumors of divorce throughout the years, they're still going strong. It turns out the secret to the celeb couple's longevity might be their separate sleeping quarters. In 2016, Radar Online reported that the couple had decided to try living in adjoining New York City townhouses. A source told the outlet, "They'll be tearing down a wall between the townhouses to make a mega mansion, but it's definitely one side for her and the other for him, with the kids having access to both." Apparently, this setup was partly designed as a compromise of Parker's neat lifestyle and Broderick's messy one. But despite the separate accommodations, the source was clear that the couple continues to spend quality time together and even have the occasional sleepover. In 2018, Parker opened up to Us Weekly about how things were going. She admitted that the fact that they spent time apart for work was enormously beneficial. Actress Gillian Anderson and film director Peter Morgan began dating when they were a little older. As Anderson explained to The Times, this meant she could approach the relationship with a lot of maturity. She explained that she and Morgan chose to live separately, saying, "There is a new creativity nowadays to what a relationship should look like. If we did live together, that would be the end of us." Anderson and Morgan's separate homes and beds mean the celeb couple chooses when they spend time together and when they spend time with their kids. Plus, they don't have to deal with the fear of what would happen to their lives if they broke up. Anderson says that another positive of the arrangement is, "It is so huge for me to be able to see a pair of trousers left lying on the floor at my partner's house and to step over them and not feel it is my job to do something about it." Anderson makes a great point, as many relationships crumble because of the pressures that come with being roommates. Carson Daly is one of America's most famous TV personalities. He and his wife, Siri Carson, decided to start sleeping in separate beds in 2019. With his hectic schedule and their 4 children, we can hardly blame them. Daly joked about the decision on Today, quipping, "I got sleep divorced in September. We cited irreconcilable sleeping." Daly went on to explain that a range of factors contributed to their decision. Specifically, he has a condition called sleep apnea. His wife was pregnant and they had downgraded to a smaller bed during a home renovation. Apparently, due to his sleep apnea, Daly actually has to wear a CPAP machine while sleeping. He explained, "That's like sleeping next to Darth Vader. Most women would want to sleep in another bedroom." Queen Elizabeth II and her late husband Prince Philip were another celebrity couple who preferred to sleep in their own separate royal bedchambers. According to the 2012 biography, Elizabeth the Queen, The Life of a Modern Monarch, this setup is actually incredibly common among the British aristocracy. Lady Pamela Hicks, Prince Philip's cousin, explained, "In England, the upper class always have had separate bedrooms." Lady Pamela later added that sometimes Queen Elizabeth and her husband probably like to cuddle up like any married couple. She continued, "When you are feeling cozy, you share your room sometimes. It is lovely to be able to choose." Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, or Brangelina as they were fondly known, spent years at the center of much media attention. The press didn't mind spreading a few rumors about the celeb couple over the years, and the public seemed to lap it up. One of the rumors that circulated was started by their former bodyguard. He spoke to In Touch Weekly and dished that the inner workings of Pitt and Jolie's marriage wasn't exactly what people might have thought. Apparently, the pair had a lot of fun at the beginning of their relationship. However, as the years went on, Pitt and Jolie began to sleep in separate bedrooms. Allegedly, Jolie became erratic and critical. The bodyguard claimed, "She screams and yells a lot, then walks away." Apparently, she would, quote, "disappear into her suite for an hour, too." While it's hard to know whether all these dramatic reports are true, it's not hard to imagine a couple with so much wealth building separate suites where they could get some privacy from time to time. The Big Bang Theory star Kaley Cuoco married equestrian Karl Cook in 2018. However, unlike most newlyweds, Cuoco and Cook didn't immediately move into the same house. Instead, they lived separately for over a year while building their new dream home together and working on their individual projects. Luckily, the arrangement worked perfectly for Cuoco and Cook, even if some fans were shocked. On one interview, Cuoco dished,
"Living separately? Yeah, it's great."
Clearly, Cuoco and Cook know what works for them and couldn't care less if their fans think their situation is abnormal. One of the most famous celebrity couples who like to sleep in separate beds every night was actress Helena Bonham Carter and her ex-partner Tim Burton. Although the pair split up in 2014, before that they were best known for their highly stylized bizarre work like Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, and Corpse Bride. So it may not come as a surprise to learn that their personal life was also pretty unusual. As Bonham Carter revealed, she and Burton actually lived in adjoining homes in London. The celeb couple also slept in separate rooms. In an interview with Radio Times, she confessed, "Tim does snore, and that's an element. We've tried lots of remedies that don't work." It sounds like this arrangement made it possible for her to get some shut-eye during the night. Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal were a Hollywood power couple for 2 decades. They then split up for a few years before getting back together and becoming each other's caregivers in old age. It turns out that while the couple began their relationship with the more traditional bed-sharing setup, over the years they grew to value their privacy more. O'Neal explained in his autobiography, Both of Us, "We were sleeping in separate bedrooms by 1990, but not for the reasons you're thinking." He revealed that they started sleeping in separate beds when their son was a toddler. Apparently, the young boy would come into their room and kick one of them out of the bed. O'Neal continued, "Eventually he outgrew this, but by then, Farrah and I had grown used to our privacy and it stuck. Even when we traveled after that, we'd often get adjoining rooms." He added that he found their arrangement terribly mature. Gwyneth Paltrow is definitely something of a trendsetter. On her lifestyle brand website Goop, The actress constantly explores experimental living techniques and products. So when Gwyneth Paltrow married TV producer Brad Falchuk in 2018, she decided to hop aboard the solo sleeping trend. In fact, as Paltrow revealed to the Sunday Times, the couple didn't actually move in together right away. Instead, Falchuk kept his old home and spent 3 nights a week there. As it turns out, Paltrow couldn't have been happier with her part-time privacy. She revealed, "Oh, all my married friends say that the way we live sounds ideal and we shouldn't change a thing." Kourtney Kardashian and her ex Scott Disick were another celeb couple who slept in separate beds. Kardashian opened up about how it all started on her website, Poosh. As she explained, she found that co-sleeping with son Mason Disick when he was a newborn was the best way to get him to settle down for the night. However, when Kardashian gave birth to Penelope Disick, the bed became a family bed. At this point, Disick moved out. She wrote, "With 2 kids in my bed, Scott had begun sleeping in the guest room." Disick explained this further on Twitter, writing, "Just want to clear up the reason why we don't sleep in bed together. I'm not a good sleeper, and with Mason in bed, I can't fall to sleep." Eventually, Kardashian's kids all learned to sleep in their own rooms. However, by 2015, the couple had broken up.
My heart breaks for Kourtney, but it's time that Kourtney doesn't have that toxic part of their relationship in her life.
There's been quite a lot of speculation about Donald and Melania Trump's marriage. One opinion piece in The Guardian couldn't help but wonder, are Donald and Melania Trump in love? The article looked into their reportedly bizarre marriage and found that they seem to enjoy spending time apart. According to Mary Jordan, a Melania biographer, the Trumps sleep in separate bedrooms, regardless of which of their many homes they're in. Jordan mused, "I don't know any couple that spends as much time apart. They're perfectly happy to be separated." Despite their unusual at-home setup, Jordan was clear that the Trumps do have a certain respect and understanding between them. Apparently, Donald trusts Melania more than most people in his inner circle. Melania was even one of the people who encouraged her husband to run for president in the first place.
Were you involved in the decision of your husband to become president?
We discuss a lot, yes, and I encourage him.
We think it's safe to say that this is one of those celebrity couples we may never fully understand. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.